Wakanda uncovered a buried artifact, not vibranium, but history rewritten. The shield Captain America carried? A replica. The original? Forged from a celestial alloy and laced with Kryptonian DNA. It was never meant for Steve Rogers. It was designed to kill one being only, Superman. Now, the Man of Steel has crossed universes to reclaim what was stolen. Wakanda won't give it up, and the Avengers must choose, defend the truth or protect a lie. The vault was never supposed to open, not without 2 blood keys and the consent of the royal line. But something deep under Mount Bashenga shifted, not from inside Wakanda, but from space. A tremor unlike any other struck the core sensors. Shuri was the first to respond, overriding her lab's remote failsafe and descending below the Panther statues, her heart pounding like war drums. The chamber was ancient, not Wakandan, older. The walls bore no vibranium markings, no tribal scripts, just a circular vault sealed with what looked like a fusion of Kryptonian hextech and a Stark Industries biometric lock. Shuri's brow furrowed. This wasn't just hidden, it was buried. A pulse activated as she touched the edge. Not from her hand, from her blood. The vault recognized something. Perhaps the line of Bashenga wasn't all Wakandan after all. The gears shifted. Light burst outward. Steam escaped ancient chambers. And then she saw it, hovering in suspension, rotating slowly, humming with red energy and a strange low frequency that shook her chest cavity. A shield, but not the one in Smithsonian holograms. This one was heavier, broader, alive with inscriptions never shown in history books. She scanned it silently. Alloy, 67% unknown celestial material. Trace elements, vibranium, yes. Adamantium, no. Overlay, quantum crystal layer. Core, Kryptonian energy cell. Active. The reading made her whisper out loud. This was not made for Steve Rogers. Chalias, preserved AI flickered beside her. It wasn't. That shield was never his. Shuri's eyes widened. You knew. The AI looked away. I knew it wasn't ours to claim. Halfway across the stars, Superman paused mid-flight. He felt it, not as a sound, but as a sensation. A call embedded in the frequencies of space-time. A lost hum that only he could hear. It wasn't a threat. It was a beacon. Something that had been forged long ago to end him. He turned from orbit. The Earth below rotated slowly, but one corner pulsed differently now. Wakanda. Kal-El narrowed his eyes. The shield had awakened. News traveled fast. Faster than Superman. Within hours, leaked scans made it into the wrong hands, or the right ones, depending on who was watching. The Avengers gathered virtually. Tony's face was ghosted and static, refusing to appear in real time. Bruce read the quantum scan 3 times. This thing's not from this world, he muttered. But parts of it, they match Kryptonian code. Superman's blood, literally. Cap stayed silent. Natasha broke the silence. Then why does it look like his shield? Because it was. Because it always had been. Tony finally spoke, voice grim through encrypted audio. That shield is the original. Stark Sr. forged it with help from an off-world source. Not for Captain America, for Earth. To stop Superman if he ever came. Steve looked like he'd been punched in the soul. So what the hell was my shield? A symbol, Tony said. A distraction. Shuri stepped forward in the projection. This artifact does not belong to one man, nor to one nation. And now, someone is coming to take it. I suggest we prepare. They didn't need to ask who. The sky above Wakanda turned blue, then white, then rippled. The rift didn't tear open like a battle. It peeled the clouds, and through it descended Kal-El of Krypton, faster than sound, slower than war, calm but carved from purpose. The Dora Milaje were already on the perimeter. Shuri stood unarmed but defiant. Superman didn't land. He hovered just above the ceremonial steps. I'm not here to fight, he said. Then you came to surrender? Okoye replied without blinking. His gaze softened. I came to take back what my mother forged. What was stolen from me before I ever knew who I was. Shuri stepped forward. You think it's yours, but it was buried beneath our mountain, hidden by your scientists, and forged using our elements. We both have claims." Superman's voice was like thunder held in chains. "My mother Laurel created the alloy before Krypton died. She sent it off-world in hopes Earth would use it, only if I ever lost control. She never meant it to become a trophy." The shield hovered behind Shuri in its containment field. For the first time, it moved on its own. The containment shattered. The shield floated forward, glowing red, and hovered between them. Superman extended his hand. It began to drift toward him. But Shuri overrode the magnetic field. The shield stopped midair and dropped back behind Wakanda's line. "You cannot claim justice through intimidation," she said. "Not here." Superman's eyes glowed faintly. Not rage, restraint. "You don't understand what's coming." She tilted her head. "Then explain it." "I can't." His voice broke for just a moment. "Because if I do, you'll never look at your heroes the same way again." From behind the ridges, Captain America approached, silent, wounded in spirit, watching the man who could rip the sky open with his hands hesitate before Princess. Steve looked at the shield, then at Superman. "I carried a lie," he said softly. Superman looked at him, unreadable. "And I'm not sure if I ever deserve it." Shuri glanced at both of them, the symbol and the target, the soldier and the alien. "I don't know what this shield was made for," she said, "but I do know one thing." Everyone turned to her. "It won't decide who is worthy. We will." Above them, thunder cracked. A second rift began to open, darker this time. A presence even Superman recognized. And for the first time in years, he looked afraid. The air in Wakanda was heavy, not with heat, with power. Superman stood motionless, his cape barely shifting in the wind, eyes fixed on the shield floating just inches from Wakanda's force perimeter. It shimmered, pulsed, as if caught between loyalties, between history and truth. His voice dropped. "That rift," he said without turning, "isn't natural." Shuri was already scanning it. Her hands moved fast across her beads, but the data coming in made her freeze. "This isn't the same frequency as your arrival," she said. "No," Superman muttered. "It's worse." Above, the sky turned from white to gray, from gray to black. Lightning streaked sideways across the clouds like broken nerves. The stars behind the rift blinked out. Whatever was coming wasn't from this universe. The Dora Milaje fell into formation. Wakanda's towers shifted, plasma cannons rising from the rooftops. And still, Superman didn't flinch. "Back away from shield," Okoye ordered. Her voice didn't shake. Superman finally looked at her. "I'm not your enemy. And yet you came uninvited." He stepped forward. The shield jolted an inch toward him, and Wakanda's defenses lit up like a storm. Beads on 1,000 arms primed every weapon in the city. From the trees, Black Panther emerged. Not a hologram, not a projection. T'Challa was back, but something about his eyes was different, colder. "Stand down," he said. Everyone froze. Even Superman blinked. T'Challa walked slowly, hands behind his back. The vibranium weave of his new suit shifted with each step, almost like it was alive. He stopped between Shuri and Superman. "You feel it too," he said to Kal-El. "The thing behind the rift. It's hunting." Superman nodded. "I've felt it since I was a child. It follows me, across timelines, across lives. And the shield." Superman's voice darkened. "It's the only thing that's ever heard it." T'Challa looked at the shield, then at Shuri. "You've been studying it?" She nodded. "It reacts to his presence. But not just him." T'Challa raised an eyebrow. "Then who else?" She hesitated. "Tony." Far above, Iron Man's voice echoed in every comm line, synthetic and cold. "Of course it reacts to me. I helped build the damn thing." A red and gold blur descended through the atmosphere, burning clouds in its path. Iron Man landed between Superman and the shield. "Before we start playing Royal Keep Away," he said, "maybe everyone should hear the rest of the story." Superman's fists clenched. "You built a weapon to kill me." "I built a failsafe," Tony snapped. "Because your kind destroyed planets. Krypton was only one of them. Lara, your mother, told my father the truth. She sent the core to Earth. Superman shouted, to protect it from what followed. You turned it into a trap. Tony's faceplate lifted. His eyes were exhausted. Not angry, just broken. I turned it into hope. The shield pulsed again, louder this time. Everyone stepped back, except for Superman. I don't want war, he said. But that rift? What's coming through? It doesn't care what you want. It doesn't negotiate. It consumes. The shield was made to stop it, not me. Chala stepped forward. Then let us fight together. Superman looked at him, truly looked. You'd give me the shield? I'd share it, Chala said. But I will not surrender Wakanda to an alien god. The ground trembled. The sky split open like paper, and from it emerged a shape. Not a man, not even a beast. A silhouette larger than any ship, cloaked in red lightning, with claws made of cosmic flame. Kal-El whispered the name only he knew. Calvore. Shuri froze. Who, what is that? Superman looked at her. The one Krypton was hiding from. Iron Man's system screamed as his suit autolocked. Guys, it's charging something big. Energy surged. The shield rose into the sky on its own, pulled by forces older than either planet. Superman chased it, flying upward with a sonic boom. Calvore roared. It wasn't a sound. It was a memory of extinction, of cities turned to ash, of planets crumbling into silence. Superman hit the shield first. It bonded to his arm like it had known him all his life. It pulsed red, then white, then silver. Wakanda watched as the sky turned into a battlefield, and Kal-El, now armed with the weapon built to destroy him, flew straight into the storm. Below, Chala gave the command, activate Bast Protocol. Shuri's eyes widened. That will consume the entire energy grid. Chala's jaw clenched. Then we will go dark, but not silent. Okoye nodded. For Wakanda. Iron Man turned to her. And for Earth. Superman collided with Calvore midair. The explosion could be seen from other continents. Fire rained, but the shield held. Superman spun, faster than light, driving the shield into Calvore's core. But the creature didn't bleed. It warped, shifted, consumed the blow, and returned it tenfold. Kal-El was flung into the ocean. The shield fell straight through the atmosphere and embedded itself in the vibranium mines below Wakanda. Silence. Then Calvore began to descend, not to destroy Wakanda, to claim the shield. Chala whispered, we have one chance. Shuri nodded. She activated the mines. The vibranium pulse shot into the heavens, and the shield responded. A dome of energy expanded upward, pushing Calvore back with a howl that shook the bones of the earth. Superman re-emerged wounded, burned, but not broken. And behind him, something else followed. A second Superman. No emblem, no mercy. A variant, drawn by the same signal. A multiversal Kal-El, the one the shield was truly made to kill. The crater still smoked where the shield had landed. Vibranium walls cracked. Shuri stood above the mine shaft, arms braced against the railing, scanning for energy feedback. The readings made no sense. The shield wasn't just responding to Superman's DNA, it was replicating it, evolving. Its core had started cloning the last signature it touched. And now there were two. The second Superman hadn't spoken. He didn't have to. His presence alone warped the gravity around the Capitol. No crest, no red cape, just black armor stretched over a Kryptonian body that radiated decay. Kal-El stared into the sky as his other self hovered across the clouds. That's not me, he said flatly. No, Chala replied, but it thinks it is. Okoye stepped forward. We've seen variants before, but this one doesn't come from the multiverse. It comes from the weapon. Shuri's eyes snapped toward her. You mean it generated him? No, Kal-El said. It summoned him. The shield, it's not a key. It's a signal. The second Kal descended. No sound. No impact. Just silence, so loud it crushed the air. The Avengers regrouped. Thor arrived through a rainbow crack, Mjolnir humming restlessly. I felt the sky split in half, he growled. Who dares challenge realms through Wakanda? Superman looked at him. That thing out there has my strength and none of my restraint. If it gets the shield. He didn't finish. Because Variant Cal moved. Faster than sight, faster than fear. Thor blocked the first blow, but the air collapsed from the impact. His hammer rang like a war bell. The force flung him across the valley. Iron Man locked on. Dozens of repulsors lit the air. Center mass, full power, fire. The sky turned white. When it cleared, Variant Cal stood untouched. Then his eyes glowed black, and the armor on Tony's suit began to liquefy. Shuri, Tony shouted. It's rewriting my nanotech. She tapped frantically, overriding the sequence. It's not Kryptonian energy anymore, she whispered. It's corrupted, inverted. It's like the shield copied Superman's biology, but removed the balance. This is raw aggression. Superman lunged forward. He collided with his variant, the earth trembling beneath their fists. Each punch cracked the atmosphere. Lightning forked from their bodies as they traded blows midair. Wakanda shields flickered under the sheer force of kinetic fury. T'Challa shouted, "Keep them above the city." But Variant Cal drove the real Superman downward, straight into the mine. Shuri screamed. No, the shield still exposed. The explosion lit the mountain in reverse, black light flooding the Vibranium caverns, as both Supermen vanished into it. When the smoke cleared, only one climbed out, and his eyes were not red. They were pitch black. T'Challa narrowed his gaze. That's not him. Shuri whispered, "We lost." The figure rose above them, cloaked in fractured metal, holding the shield now cracked, no longer round, but jagged at the edges. It pulsed with black lightning, feeding into his veins. The variant had won, but he was wearing Kal-El's face. Thor rose again, limping. "I've fought titans. I've bled gods. I don't care whose face he wears. I end him now." "No," T'Challa barked. "Not here." Thor didn't wait. Mjolnir tore through the air, crashing into the variant's chest. It stopped, dead midair. The variant caught the hammer in one hand. Thor froze. "No one can catch Mjolnir." "I'm not no one," the variant said, and shattered the hammer with his bare fist. The fragments fell like dying stars. A tremor spread through all of Wakanda. Inside the royal archive, the hologram of Howard Stark reactivated. Ancient protocols kicked in. Project Sigma Falcon, emergency event triggered. Shuri stared at the old Stark video. "What is Sigma Falcon?" Tony's voice rang through the archive even before she asked. "It's the truth." Files decrypted. Blueprints revealed. The shield hadn't just been made to stop Superman. It was made using his unborn twin, a fetus extracted from Lara's Kryptonian DNA samples, stabilized in Terran womb simulation, hidden, never allowed to develop, until Stark engineers, fearing Superman's future, grew it, raised it, and programmed it as a weapon. Project Sigma Falcon, the anti-Superman, a brother bred in darkness, and now fully activated. Shuri backed away from the screen. "You cloned him. You made this." Tony's voice crackled. "I didn't make him. I buried him. Someone else let him out." Outside, Variant Cal raised the shield, and it began absorbing Wakandan power grids one by one. Lightning flickered. Towers shut down. The Vibranium mines dimmed. He was draining the country. Okoye gritted her teeth. "We strike now, or we lose the planet." T'Challa raised a fist. Agreed. But before anyone moved, a portal opened. Golden sparks flew through the air. Dr. Strange stepped into the chaos. "I've seen 14 million futures," he said, "and in all of them he wins." Shuri shook her head. "Then why are you here?" "Because in one, he doesn't kill everyone." Variant Cal turned slowly toward Strange. "You should have stayed gone, sorcerer." Strange didn't blink. "I should have erased you the day you were born." Behind the variant, the shield began spinning on its own, not by his command, but as if something else was waking up inside it. Kal-El's voice echoed from the crater, faint but rising. "You aren't the only one who knows how to rise from darkness." The real Superman wasn't dead. He was in the shield, and he was fighting to get out. The shield spun midair like it had a mind of its own. But it wasn't mind, it was memory. And Superman's was clawing his way back through it. The variant floated above the wreckage of Wakanda's skyline, energy leaking from his skin like broken starlight. But his control slipped with every second. The shield pulsed violently. His grip cracked. The sound it made wasn't metal, it was a heartbeat. Dr. Strange held his ground. Spells flared at his fingertips, ready to lock reality in place. But this was no demon, no dimensional distortion. This was family-turned-weapon. You've already lost, the variant snarled. Strange narrowed his eyes. I'm not here to win. I'm here to stall. The shield glowed white, and then Superman emerged. Not flying, not punching, tearing his way out of the spinning construct like it was a rebirth. The crowd below gasped. Even the variant blinked. Kal-El dropped to the ground. His suit was shredded, his skin scorched. But he stood, alive, breathing, and carrying something no one had ever seen in him before. Rage. You're not my shadow, he said, voice raw. You're my mistake. The variant of. Kal met him halfway. They collided like planets, the shockwave flattening entire mountaintops in the distance. Wakanda's shields failed. Glass shattered for miles. But this wasn't about domination. It was about truth. You were built to be better than me, Superman growled, blocking strike after strike. I am better, the variant roared. I'm not soft. I don't beg humans for love. You were built to destroy everything I protect. That makes you weaker. Behind them, the cracked remains of the shield hovered, its two webs splitting, one glowing red, the other silver. Both sides mirrored the battle. Shuri's eyes widened. They're choosing. Dr. Strange moved fast, opening a portal to the fractured timeline where the variant had been born. But the variant lashed out, throwing Kal into the mines again. Wakanda shook. Debris flew. Then Iron Man launched forward. You break my country, he said. You answer to me. Repulsors at full charge. Arc reactor spiking. He blasted the variant head-on. It worked for 2 seconds. Then the variant caught the beam, twisted it, and hurled it back. Tony's suit exploded midair. He hit the ground hard. Kal-El rose again, blood in his mouth. His hands clenched into stone. The silver half of the shield drifted to him, like it knew where it belonged. It snapped to his arm, not smooth, jagged, broken, perfect. He charged. This time, the punch landed. The variant staggered, and for the first time, bled. You're not a god, Kal said. You're what happens when people stop believing in humanity. From behind, Thor reappeared, not with Mjolnir, but wielding Stormbreaker. Together, they struck. The variant crashed into the ground, forming a crater deep enough to scrape the mantle. But he wasn't done. He pulled the red half of the shield to himself. 2 Supermen, 2 shields, and only 1 Earth. Kal looked to Strange. What's left? Strange opened a final rift, not to a place, but to a choice. The 2 shields started glowing in sync, shaking like magnets, repelling each other. Only one could survive, and Kal-El knew it. He turned toward the variant and ran. Kal ran faster than sound, faster than thought, faster than fear. The ground beneath him split open, but he didn't stop. The broken silver shield on his arm vibrated like a living nerve, sensing what was coming. The variant rose above the battlefield, red shield glowing like a dying sun, ready to consume the earth. Lightning cracked in every direction. The sky wasn't blue anymore, it was war. Kal leapt into the air, colliding with the variant before the red shield could fully stabilize. The 2 shields clashed in a blinding arc of energy, one humming with fractured hope, the other with pure hatred. Shock waves carved canyons through the earth. Mount Bashenga cracked open. Thor Strange and Shuri struggled to maintain the last force fields around Wakanda. Even Stormbreaker bent under the cosmic pressure. Kal pushed harder. You don't belong here, he growled. And you don't deserve what was meant for gods, the variant snapped. The shields began fusing, drawn to each other like opposite poles. But instead of merging, they destabilized. Shuri saw it first. They're quantum opposites. If they touch fully, they'll annihilate. Cal heard her and smiled. Then I'll make sure only one does. He twisted his body in midair, forced the silver shield between both of them, and slammed it into the core of the red. The sky collapsed, but not inward, outward. A light exploded over Wakanda like a new sun. The variant screamed, not in pain, in disbelief. His armor cracked, his power drained. The red shield shattered, and the variant dissolved like ash lost in the wind. When it ended, there was silence. No tremors, no rift, no shields. Just Kal-El, barely conscious, falling from the sky. T'Challa caught him, not physically, with a projection net woven from vibranium threads. The crowd gathered. Shuri ran forward, tears in her eyes. "You should be dead." Cal opened one eye. "I was. For a second. Maybe longer." Doctor Strange helped him stand. "You burned out every future that led to that version of yourself." Thor limped beside them, shaking his head. "You shattered Stormbreaker's handle, by the way." Cal half smiled. "Send me the bill." Okoye approached with what was left of the silver shield, warped, melted, almost unrecognizable. She handed it to him. "This still belongs to you." Cal shook his head. "No, it belongs here." He turned to Shuri. "Hide it again, not as a weapon, as a warning." She nodded slowly. "To who?" "To me," he said. The Avengers watched silently as Kal-El hovered into the air, eyes sweeping across a land he had nearly destroyed and saved. "Next time," he said quietly, "don't bury the truth. Teach it." And with that, Superman disappeared into the sky. The real one, not a weapon, not a clone, just a man who almost wasn't, and finally chose who he would be. The end.